Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be doing a deck profile for XYZ Elemental Heroes. So it's going to be a very good deck next format, I would say. And so you guys can check out this build. I've tested it and it works really well. With E-Call, it's just pretty much E-Call and dueling. That's really the only changes that we've really made. As well as we've changed it to add one of these, Where Returning Alive. Pretty decent card. I really like this card. It's been proving itself to be a pretty decent tech. So that said, let's get into the deck profile and I'll explain some of the things as we go along. I will be making a deck profile for Bubble Heroes. This one is still like XYZ variant, but the thing with Bubble Man is I personally did not like Bubble Man just because you had to set everything and then you would end up losing to Heavy Storm a lot of the times. Sure, you can technically OTK them, but again, it's just because sometimes you don't have the Starlight Road or they stop you with like a Gores and then you really lose to a Heavy Storm. So that's my reason why I like the Thrasher build, but I will make a Bubble Beatdown later on if you guys would like to see that, let me know. But yeah, let's get started, and this is going to be the deck profile for XYZ Heroes. So pretty standard, we have triple A-list, and then we're playing 2 Ocean. Ocean's really good. I liked it with Future Fusion first turn, like setting Stratos plus Ocean, and just opened up a lot of plays. Then setting Call of the Haunted, it was just really good. But yeah, I feel like Ocean's just a really decent card. Although drawing it usually ends up dying, but that's no problem. You let him die, and then you just Call of the Haunted him later on. During your opponent's end phase is usually the best time. So usually, if he's in the graveyard, you'll have to get him to the graveyard by either discarding him for Super Poly or just summon him, let him die, no problem. I mean, that is the only downside to running Ocean over the Bubble Man. Basically, with the Bubble Man build, you do get to technically special summon it, but again, you have to really commit to your play when you play the Bubble Man, and it's a little bit more difficult, I would say, if you're trying to learn how to play heroes. When you go for the Bubble Man play, again, it's just you are committing basically that if you don't win within the next like 2 turns, and if they have Heavy Storm, you will lose. But yeah, Ocean, pretty easy to play too, and I'll explain it. Basically, just end phase Call of the Haunted, as long as Stratos is in the graveyard. Otherwise, this play doesn't work. So you'll always have Stratos, as you guys know. So what you do is on your opponent's end phase, you activate Call of the Haunted, and you get back Ocean, and during your salmon phase, you get to add Stratos. Now, what you can do from here is during your turn, now you draw. And then you activate Ocean's effect, you now get to add Stratos. So you summon Stratos, and then you get to decide whether you want to pop one or just add one. Generally, depending on the deck, you'll have to take that into consideration, and then you get to pop 1 card. So you've essentially used 1 card to pop 1 card, and then you have an option to go for an Exceed. Generally, I will make Excalibur because it runs over everything, but if you have the option to go for Blade Armor Ninja and attack over 2 smaller things, maybe they went for Tour Guide Sangan and they're both in attack mode. Hey, that can be an option. You can, attack over both of them. I know technically you could still go for Excalibur and, punish them and attack and deal 3,000 points of damage. But if you have the option to go for game anyways, why not, just go for Blade Armor Ninja? Because technically, yes, Blade Armor is 400 more damage, but depending on the deck, that you're playing against, keep that in mind. You have to factor in Gores too. The luck about Excalibur is if they only have 1 monster, you attack them, you attack over them, they can't drop a Gores. Whereas with Blade Armor Ninja, sometimes you attack over 1 monster, and then you attack them directly, and then they drop Gores, and Blade Armor Ninja can't really get over Gores, because Gores is 27. So yeah, keep that in mind, depending on the deck you're playing against. You'll have to take that in consideration of what you want to play. That said, we are... what are we at right now? We are at Stratos. I shouldn't need to explain Stratos. He's pretty good. And you abuse him a lot in this deck with Call of the Haunted too. So if like Stratos dies early on, no problem. Set a Call of the Haunted, they MSU, heavy use, chain Call of the Haunted, and you'll be good to go. Next up, triple Photon Thrasher. Now, I really like Thrasher just because if you control no monsters, you just special summon it. It's really good just because it allows you to still go for an XYZ even when your opponent doesn't have anything on the field. Whereas like Cyber Dragon, they have to control monster. Keep that in mind. You don't have to your opponent doesn't have to have anything on the field. You just special summon it as long as you control no monsters. So he's really good. Plus he's a light, so he's just fodder for your Shining. And I really feel like he's a good card. I mean, he gets over Thunder King, and Thunder King might see a raise in popularity because of E-Heroes, because, E-Heroes have a lot of searching cards. There's the Dualities, there's the E-Calls, and then like the Stratos. And I know Alias can point for point, and that's a pretty good play against Thunder King. But if you don't have Alias early on, sometimes against Thunder King, it becomes kind of a problem to deal with. I've noticed that. So Thrasher gets rid of Thunder King really quick, as well as Plants being on a deck that's going to be a little bit more popular, because they have Spore. Thunder King will maybe see a little bit more play, and that's why I decided to play the Thrashers. And Thrashers it's really simple to use. I mean, you summon it, you summon Stratos, you get to Exceed or go whatever you want to go for. And you don't go minus with that play when you summon the Stratos, because Stratos switches you an extra E hero anyway. So if you get punished essentially when you go for like special, normal, then it's okay. Next up, Book of Moon, because again, plants are going to be popular, as well as this is okay against Dark World too, because when they summon their Dark World monster, you just Book of Moon it, and it has to be a face-up monster for Grapha to bounce back, so you just Book of Moon it, and then they can't Grapha, and then you just attack them, and you can sometimes OTK Dark Worlds relatively quick. Next up, Dark Hole, 2 E-Call, because E-Call is at 2. I was surprised that this even got hit. I feel like if anything would get hit that would actually hurt E-Heroes, it'd be like maybe Miracle Fusion or Super Poly. I really do feel like Super Poly is a very viable card. I just like 1, personally. I don't really like to discard from my hand, but I mean, it is a 1 card that literally answers almost everything as far as, you know, monsters. But yeah, Super Poly, still pretty good card. I feel like it is definitely deserving a spot in the main deck. Next up, playing 1 Lance. The reason why I play Lance is because Bottomless, very popular card, and my Shining always gets Bottomless. It doesn't get deeper than too much, it's always Bottomless, and Lance does prevent that from happening. As well as sometimes your hand will have like Gemini Sparks that you can't use, and so, you know, also, I'm sorry, I meant against E-Heroes, when they use their Gemini Spark against you, you chain Forbidden Lance. If Gemini Spark does not get to destroy, you do not get to draw. So if you're playing against E-Heroes, this is more for the mirror match, Lance is really good because if they do not destroy with Spark, they do not get to draw. So keep that in mind. That really makes them go minus, because then they distribute a card for nothing. And it's just really good. But main reason why I like this is, again, my Shining always gets Bottomless. Or this guy, he can get Bottomless too sometimes. But if you Lance him and you're going to go for an Exceed, it's cool. So yeah. Gemini Spark, pretty good card. I do not play Hero Blast, because I feel like Dark Worlds are really popular, and Hero Blast not so good against Dark Worlds. But yeah, Hero Blast is a decent card against, like, you know, plants and stuff. But I have ability to add back a alias with Ocean, so I still feel like 3 is viable. And I don't play MSTs in this deck because I don't feel it's necessary, because Gemini Spark really, it covers it. You can run MST if you'd like, but I just like Gemini Spark. It gets the job done for me. Next up, playing Heavy Storm, Triple Miracle, Reborn, 2 Duality. Reinforcement of the Army. Remember, with Reinforcement Army, you can search out this guy over here, Photon Thrasher. And then we're playing 1 Super Poly, and we're trying Warrior Returning Alive. I've been playing with it. It's kind of a mixed right now. I feel like you could play like maybe 1 MST instead of this. So it's up to you on this card. This card, I feel like, is one of those cards where I put a lot of cards here at the bottom that you can try main decking if you don't like any of the cards that you see above. But I think this card's okay, because adding Thrasher back sometimes is just, it allows you to go for an Exceed and just OTK. Or if you get to add back Stratos, you can sometimes just OTK really quick with that, with like the Miracle Fusions and stuff like that. So yeah, adding back Stratos is basically what it does. Or Thrasher, I mean, or Alias, or you get to add back anything really. But yeah, I feel like this card, it does deserve to see some play. I don't know if you run more than 1 though. I think 1 is pretty good. Next up, we're playing Double Bottomless, because it hurts Dino Rabbit, which is still a very popular deck. It hurts Dark Worlds. It hurts a lot of different decks, and I think this card's pretty good. Next up, Triple Call of the Haunted, because again, it is an XYZ variant. You basically use 1 card to XYZ, and that is when you get back Ocean, and that's why I'm playing 2 Ocean. So yeah, Call of the Haunted, very good card in this deck. It allows you to XYZ. That's what makes it the XYZ heroes. And again, I will be making like a Bulbman version, because I know some people don't really like the XYZ variant of using Call of the Haunted. It is slower technically, but it's not as sacky, I guess you can call it. You're not going all in for that 1 play, and if that play fails, you don't like lose. Next up, we're playing 1 New Prison, because New Prison, I think it's good. And then I play 1 Mirror Force. I like the mix up, because Deep Prison, pretty good against Dark World. Mirror Force, not so good against them. Mirror Force, pretty good against decks that swarm, like Black Wings can swarm, and you can just Mirror Force. Especially when you have like a lower monster and they summon Shura, you're like, oh, I cannot let you get your Shura play off, sir. And then that way, also, these 2 cards also protect Ocean, so like if you get to have Ocean survive on the field for multiple turns, like I've noticed, if Ocean gets its effect off like 2 or 3 times like in that game, you pretty much are set to win, because you can go for so much Exceeding. So yeah, what I really like about this is any hero, so keep that in mind. If you were playing like D heroes or something like that, if you want to mix that in, which actually we'll try later on, yeah, keep that in mind, that you can get back any hero. So you can actually get back Ocean. Ocean can get back Ocean, and then you can summon another Ocean, and then you get like double Ocean's effects. Pretty good stuff. Yeah. Next up, we are at Solemn Judgment. So Solemn Brigade, pretty simple. Starlight Road, because sometimes you can make like a good field, and then like there's a lot of good background here. And, Solid Red, I feel like it's a pretty good card, especially when you're going to go for your exceeding plays. It just allows you to, like, get off the play safer, and I feel like it's just a decent card. And then 2 Torrential Tributes, just because, like, sometimes you'll summon Ocean, they'll summon something, and then you'll have a Call of the Hunter set, you'd be like, no, I'm going to Torrential Tribute. And then you go on your opponent's end phase, you Call the Hunter, get back the Ocean effect, get back Stratos, summon Stratos, go to pop 1 or add 1, and then go for an Exceed. Again, this is XYZ Heroes, and it exceeds really easy. So that is it for the main deck. If you want to run any of these cards, I'm going to go through them real quick. If there's any cards that you didn't like above, you can try out some of these cards. Gemini Pearl is mainly for the extra deck, but we have Compulse, we have another Super Poly, MST, more Lances. You can try Chalice, it's a pretty good card as well. You can try out Maxi. You can try out Honest. Honest is actually pretty good because, now I'm playing 3 Thrasher because it's like heavy XYZ. And, Honest is just a pretty good card. So there's 6 targets with it. So yeah, you can maybe take out Warrior Returning Light. I'd say if any card, if you're unsure what you want to take out, but you want to add one of these cards, definitely pick this one because it is a card that's kind of more of a slower card, I would say. Whereas like a card like Honest is just, it's a lot faster, like, presence on the field. Or you can go with like something like Ice Edge. Or Bubble Man. If you want to play the Bubble Man, again, I'll show you a Bubble Man variant later on. I need to do some more testing to figure out what is the meta right now, and I'm going to tell you what's good against it. And then we have Valor, because again, Valor's light plus it's a tuner, so allow you to go for Catastor. And I am playing Catastor in my extra deck because agents are going to be a threat, a little bit of a threat, and if you make Catastor against them, they usually get pretty sad. But yeah, as far as the extra deck, we're playing 2-0, 1 Escoridao, 1 Gaia, 1 Tornado, 1 Masters, and then 2 Shining. Pretty much one of every archetype, and then double Shining and double Zero, because those are probably one of the best ones, because once those go away, you get an effect, because Shining, unless Shining gets Bottomless or Deep Prison, but you got that one Forbidden Lance to help you out, try to stop that, because it always happens. Next up, we're playing Catastor, Stardust because Starlight Road, Armor Ninja because sometimes you want to get over 2 monsters. It is technically, again, more damage, but if they drop Gorge, keep in mind that, yeah. There's also Excalibur. If I am going to be attacking them directly, I will go for Armor Ninja over Excalibur, because dealing with a 4,000 Gores sometimes changes the game completely, because it's going to be very difficult to get Shining up to 4,000 attack. Yes, you can do it, but it'll be a lot more difficult to do. So keep that in mind. Do not go for Excalibur when you're attacking them directly if you are afraid of Gores, because a 4,000 Gores token, pretty beefy. Next up, my Shriek Symphony to Jin, pretty good. And then Photon, Papilio Operative. There's a lot of people that can't pronounce it. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, Papilio Operative. Pretty good card against Spirit Reaper. Because Spirit Reaper does take a while to get over it. Yeah, you can Gemini Spark it, but like, I don't want to Gemini Spark or Spirit Reaper. I want to Gemini a bigger threat. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is good against Spirit Reaper, because I think Spirit Reaper will see some play. Because it's a pretty good card too. So yeah, this has been the deck profile for XYZ Heroes. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to test it out and let you know how it goes. But yeah, I will be making Bubble Heroes again, because I know that's a very popular deck as well, but I'm going to need to do some more testing against the meta, because I feel like this one right here is pretty good against the meta at the moment, but I just need to do some more testing with the Bubble Heroes. I wish you didn't have to set your entire hand. What I wanted to do... This is going to be really funny, but I wanted to try making bubble infernities. Like, I thought it'd be just funny, just to see if you can actually pull it off. Because, I mean, yeah, you can still top deck, Bubble if you have nothing and infernities. It'd be pretty funny. And you draw into, like, some other cards that you can explode with. It'd be funny. But, yeah, Bubble Hero is a pretty good deck. So this has been the deck profile for XYZ Heroes. But thanks for watching, guys. H Nice White Dragon, signing out.